Hi guys, I'm back over here. Sorry for being late earlier. Again, Anna Maria's fault for this bullshit story we're about to look into. Let me wait till I have some people in here. It says it's just me talking to myself. And I am going to, I said it was going to be Stitch and Bitch. So also for homeless people this year, or for shelters and stuff, I have been knitting scarves and to give as Christmas presents. So I don't know. Some people ask me about knitting, and I've asked Maria about knitting in the round. So I'm gonna be knitting a little bit while I talk to you guys. Hi, Truly Loving Life. Let me see. I'll put it down here a little bit so y'all can see my knitting. So yeah, so it's good to give these to. I don't know. It's good to just something cheap and stuff to do while you're to drop off at, shelters or whatever. And it's something to do kind of, it keeps like if you're nervous or something, kind of a nervous habit. So let's get into this. We're going to totally change topics. So somebody said they dropped a link to Yahoo Boy's channel, who I hope you won't mind. God, I just can't get this computer screen right. If I play a little of this, let's see if I can find the link here. You're cross stitching. Hi guys. Okay, let's see. So, you sent it to me in a DM? Okay, cool. Oh, wow, there's a lot of them. So she's called Chicago Jen in this one. Okay. So this is, you guys can hear this for yourself on Yahoo Boy Entertainment on his channel. And this is all allegedly. And let's just see what she says happened. And if it matches what Anne and Maria, I feel like tricked me about. And you guys, again, please look at the banner. Any cash apps or super chats between now and the 22nd, go to Project Linus for blankets for cold children. And I would appreciate it so much if you guys helped. I'm trying to get, we're at 150 for me to donate right now. And if I could get to 200, that would be amazing. So if you like the content and you want to help cold children, please do that. So right now we're starting Yahoo Boy News. It says initial interview with Chicago Jen, which I'm assuming is the same person as Home Depot Jen, who sheltered John Yates and his husband for 2 months. Again, what I'm saying here is all allegedly. It is not, it is someone else's story. I don't know this to be fact. This is, the description of this is, in mid-October, we spoke with Chicago Jen, who gave us an inside look at the dysfunction with John and Cody Yates and discussed some of the aftermath of the domestic violence between the two. She also discussed the harassment and threats she has received after the two left. And this, I believe, is Chicago or Home Depot Jen. Let me make sure my Bluetooth is connected to my puppy here. It's not, of course. Hold on. Thank you, Steven. You're awesome. You rock. Hold on, let me grab it. You rock, Steven. Thank you. Oh, hi, Mimi. Hold on. Let me pause her till she goes on Bluetooth. Thank you, Steven, so much. Okay, here we go. All right, she said, Yahoo Boy should be dropping in shortly.
Have have a tea time. Actually, I have coffee with me tonight, so. But I think, oh, well, look who's joined. Okay, you let me know when you are ready.
So is this on her channel or on Yahoo Boy's channel?
Ready. See if I'm going to do this right.
Let's see.
Okay.
I mean, she looks like a pretty normal lady. She doesn't look like.
There you are.
Why is she called Home Depot Jen? Does she work at a Home Depot or something? Because this is not what I was expecting from Maria and Ann's story that I heard earlier. This one looks fairly normal. She's wearing brown, which is a sensible color. Stephen, thank you so much. Okay, so anyway, so if someone would let me know in the chat why she's called Home Depot Jen, I would appreciate it. Yahoo Boy just came on screen. Again, you can watch this for yourself on his channel. She's a college professor. Why is she called Home Depot Jen?
All right. Jen, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Evening.
Could be under better circumstances, would have been nicer, but that's okay.
She feels some type of way. It's a scarf.
Wait for people to kind of stroll in over here.
Right.
I'm going to see if one of the shelters, I donate some to shelters during Christmas. She was on a live while she was shopping. She was on a live once shopping from Home Depot, and she's known as Home Depot Jen from thenceforth. Okay.
Oh, might be able to prop it up there.
Okay, and we're seeing the decor of her house. What shelters? There's a women's shelter, just the Nashville Women's Shelter. I give scarves to, or sometimes there's this bypass that's like on the way downtown, and a lot of people live underneath it. So sometimes if I have like 5 knitted or something, I'll just take them in a bag and drop them off underneath the bypass where they live, like up underneath the bridge and stuff. I don't know how to make a blanket, so that's why I'm donating money to the Linus Project. I don't know how to make a blanket. I'd like to work on crocheting them. Because she went shopping at Home Depot. It was actually Costco. Yeah, you crochet blankets. I don't think you knit them, and I don't know how to do that yet.
Previously hosted.
But I do hate seeing people cold. Thanks, and check.
John Yates for about 2 months.
Well, 2 months for John, 3 months for Cody.
Okay, so 2 months for John. Bruiser, inside voice. 2 months for John, 3 months for Cody. That's odd. Why not the same amount of time for both? Bruiser?
And you had known them for several years before that, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the thing. Obviously he's put out his own information, but yes, I've known him for 4 years before this even took off. He had about 4,000 followers.
She tried to kidnap him too?
That was it. He was just starting to get into this when I met him. So, and he has stayed with me before. So.
All right, go ahead and
she looks very unhappy.
TT1, I think that's John actually. So.
Oh wait, hold on.
Yeah, it's been pretty much yearly around the holidays. So anyway, at that time, he literally had, it seemed as though he had nobody at all to talk to. And my background is.
I was trying to see if there was a.
Okay, I've been in this field for a long.
I was trying to see if there was a live chat, and there's not. Well, this is very interesting.
And I know you guys can laugh at me because they used to make fun of me, and they rightfully should have, because I was such an ass defending the school. But anyway, truthfully, but that's my background, and my specific background. The populations that I worked with were domestic violence, sexual abuse, and rape victims. Okay, so
should we speed it up? Is it going to sound weird if we speed it up?
And so it's just kind of in my nature, and I don't even have to like you, honest to God. You could be my worst enemy, and if I see you hurting, and in a personal life. So
Yeah, Yahoo Boy, if you want to come in and comment on this, that that would be fine. This is his live. You guys can watch it. I'm speeding it up a little bit. Maybe I'll do it at 1.25 because it sounds a little crazy at 1.5.
I'm going to be there for you as a human. It's just my nature. I wish I could change that, but and
Saying
so
she's
he was
just
really
a nice
down,
lady.
and I
That's
just
her
kinda
nature.
coached him. I'm like, look, you need to not be focusing. Just take it a day at a time. I know things are a mess right now, but in a couple of months, it's all going to get back on track. It's all going to be fine. And literally, that was December. He left Twitter, jumped on IG, and it just took off. Like his following, everything just blew up.
So he left Twitter, John Yates, according to Chicago Jen, Home Depot Jen, and he blew out after he left Twitter and came on to, I don't know, supposedly the story is that she kidnapped Cody, is what has been said. It was an outrageous story that Ann and Maria just told me. I guess this happened a couple of years ago. When is this? It's 2 years ago.
January 2019, blew up, and here we are. Basically,
She knows the date he converted
so
over
the circumstances that led him to going to stay with you
to
are
YouTube.
exactly what, because he would have stayed in Omaha for like 7 months, I guess, at that point, right?
Right. He only stayed in Omaha for a month. Cody did not want to stay there. He wanted to leave, and he came.
Cody hated
home
Omaha.
He was working for his friend Christy, not Christy Means. People need to understand that. I want to make a point right now about that, because when anyone throws out the name Christy, people automatically jump to Christy Means. There's another Christy that is deeply involved here.
Is that
okay,
Christy
and that's
Denver?
the person he stayed with in Omaha. Actually, she was smart enough not to let him stay with her, but that's his right-hand woman, and she's very much a part of all the bullying and bullshit that goes on. And she gave him a job there, basically taking care of her grandfather at night. They were elderly, kind of like a nursing kind of thing, assisting them at night and that sort of thing. And so that's what John did there. He paid her, or she.
So nobody kidnapped anyone. They kicked John out after a DV situation, and Cody stayed behind. Okay. I don't know what happened. The first I've heard about this was on Ann and Maria's stream, and then someone said that I should cover this series of interviews. So that's what we're doing, because the story I heard was that she held Cody captive and denied him socks.
Well, I think it was like 20 something an hour or whatever, but obviously not his ideal job. And I told them before they left for Omaha, I was like, really?
27 hours, not bad money.
They'd never been out to the Midwest ever, or out this way, this far. And I'm like, you're going to move to Omaha. Like, I live in Indiana. I wouldn't move to Omaha. Okay. Like, you guys are not going to be happy there. But I'm like,
no offense to Omahanians. You
do it, go try it, whatever. So yeah, Cody was not happy. He had to find a job, obviously. And he just didn't like it there. And so they went back to New York. So they were there about a month. By June 2019, back to New York, and that's when they stayed with Megan and Brian.
That's a lot of traveling. Oh, Brenda, thank you. Thank you so much, guys. I appreciate it so much. Y'all are awesome. Stephen, Brenda, anybody that's watching, liking, supporting, donating, it's really awesome. It makes me feel so good, and I can't wait to make a donation to the Linus Project. I picked them because I think it's kind of a lesser known organization, and I hate seeing people cold. I really do. I hate seeing this, like in Nashville, it's becoming a bigger city, and I hate driving under this one underpass going into downtown, and you see all the people shivering under that. I hate it. Thank you so much.
Okay. What happened with Megan and Brian?
Well, that's kind of a mystery. I mean, I
don't know who Megan and Brian are, but so at this point she's saying John, and this is according to this woman. Again, if John or this lady or anyone wants to come in, I'm just replaying this. These are her words, not mine. This story sounds insane, so I'm replaying this. You can get the link to the Linus Project directly. It's in the content of some of my I put the link there in the description of some of my lives. I'll put it there too. Half of the money is going to support the channel and stuff I want to do for the channel, and kind of a side hustle for me, and I don't think that there is anything wrong with that. So if you feel like donating through me, do that. If you like the content, and if you want to donate to them directly, do that. There's nothing wrong with having a little side hustle, and if you guys feel that there is, then don't donate. But I appreciate it if you do. It makes me feel really good.
But
Hi,
stories
Carrie.
from them. In retrospect, I don't put any validity in that because I know the stories that they've created about us. So, I've obviously second guessed everything that they said about them. But what I do know is after John left, and this is tough for me because I try to walk a fine line here with this. Cody was very much a victim and is very much a victim in this circumstance, and so. But also a lot of what
Cody's
I know
a
is
victim.
because of the things that Cody told me. So it puts me in a
She's
peculiar position, really, because it's like I know, that I have to tell the truth and be able to inform everybody who this person really is. But I know there's a price for that. I'm
Take
sure.
it away.
But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and share this.
Okay, she's gonna share.
Because had I known this information, I never would have invited them to stay here. I invited him to stay here because I was really worried he was going to commit suicide or something. I mean, I felt like that's where he was at, as we were entering the holidays again. And our life was not in a position really to help anybody. We're in the middle, starting to finally get this construction done, but this has been an awful process for us. So our life was in an upheaval, but I said, look, I told my husband,
Thank you.
For a while,
Hold on, guys. I just got,
and I'm worried about him.
Guys, I just got a Cash App. Thank you so much. It's from, I hope you don't mind me saying your name. It's from Tracy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it so much. You guys are awesome. You guys are totally awesome. Hold on. Let me tell her thank you on here. And if you send a Cash App and you want it to be anonymous, you can tell me that too if you just put private donation or something. Thank you so much.
And what do you think? If we offered for them to stay here, they could start over here, get their shit together, get whatever paid off, and start over. And then we're close to Chicago. That's a great place. They could move on to there, move downtown.
Seems like a great plan to help. I mean, I don't know how close they were, but I have let people that I know stay in my house before, and usually it doesn't end up being a great thing. I cannot imagine letting people, and I'm not saying John and Cody did anything wrong because I don't know what happened in this story. I'm just listening to what Anne and Maria said earlier, and it was bizarre. And then I also, and then people told me to listen to this link. So this is just her account of it. So I don't know that they did anything wrong, but I mean, that's a pretty generous thing, telling people that you don't know, that you've only met on the internet, that they can live with you.
Gay community, all that. Oh, and here's the husband now.
Here's the husband.
There he is. Not divorced.
Wonder how he
not
felt about
divorced.
this
Haven't
whole
lost
thing.
my child.
Wonder if he was like, if she told him what she had offered, and he was like, "See what say what."
That's why we, invited them here, and I lost my train of thought because you jumped in. So okay, back me up. So what was I talking about right before that?
They were moving over to Indiana. And
how we got that right. So I would not have asked them, even though I was worried about his mental health status. I would not have asked them had I known this. Apparently, when things went down with Megan, and I don't know what happened.
Thank you. You guys are freaking awesome. Thank you. I love it so much and appreciate it so much. It makes me feel so good. Thank you, guys. They are divorced now, if I'm correct. I wonder if it had anything to do with her inviting two strangers into their home and kidnapping them.
Details of what happened there. But when he kind of disappeared and he couldn't stay at Megan's anymore, I believe that's when he was in a mental health facility on a 72-hour hold. Cody did tell me that in between, yes, that
so Cody was in a mental
no, John was. John.
So he was on a hold.
So knowing that they've had allegedly problems staying somewhere else, and then mental health problems, you invite these people to live with you.
Yeah, that he went into a mental health facility. And I said, Cody, had I known any of that, had I known
she
that he
didn't
was
know.
being that unstable, that he needed to be hospitalized involuntarily, I would not have invited them to stay with us, obviously. I have a child, you know, I would not expose my family to that. And so, yeah, but he specifically told me that it was
I don't know,
since
Kelly.
they went back to New
Unless
York
she's
after
drinking
Omaha,
coffee.
and between
The
that and
husband
going
really
back to
wants
New
some
York and
camera
coming
time
here.
too.
So I think it was when he got
He's in
kicked
the
out of
background.
maintenance is
He
when that
really wants to
happened.
be
I
featured on
can't
camera.
verify that, but it was sometime in the summer of 2019 and before he got to our house in December.
So,
No, when he went in the mental health facility in New York. No, not in Ohio. Mm-mm.
so real quick, the 72-hour hold at the facility, was that due to a particular issue that he told you, or?
He didn't say anything specifically. Now, when we
Yahoo Boy
spoke to the
was very
police,
concerned.
you know, and went down to the police station, and Cody
He's
gave his
looking at her
statement,
like
we
you.
talked to the officer about
I
all
love
of
the
that.
husband in the
See that
background
would
being like,
support the mental health history. It certainly wasn't the first time he was hospitalized. And so, but he did not tell me again. It was kind of,
so she knew that he'd been hospitalized for, even if she didn't know that time, she knew that there were possibly problems here, and she made the decision to invite these people that she did not know to stay with her and her family.
weird. There's this dark cloud over that time, and nobody's really spoken about what exactly happened. So I really don't know exactly what went down. I just know
Look out, Mama's
something
done
big
with this.
happened, and he spent some time in a mental health facility for a couple of
Hi,
days.
Johnny.
That's it. So, I mean, and to me, that's unusual because Cody told me a lot of details about a lot of everything. So to not tell me specifics about that, I don't know what to infer about that, but so.
Very interesting. So now, they move over to your house December, correct? And you have one child,
Yes.
and so you offered them a room to stay in, and what were the stipulations that you had?
The stipulations were, first of all, that nobody could know that they were here.
Number one, no socks unless I tell you so. Stipulations where no one could know they were there. If she didn't think this was kind of a sketchy thing, why was that a stipulation?
Okay, that's why it was such a big deal about, like I said, we were really under construction in the middle of this whole mess with our.
So in the middle of being under construction, her house and her family and Christmas, what better time to add some more stuff to the mix?
House. And in order to have them stay with us, we had to get a rental place for December because we could have just went and stayed with my mother-in-law.
Okay, so she went to the trouble to rent a whole other house for them to stay with her.
But you know, with them coming, we couldn't really bring them there as well. So we got a rental place about a mile away from us here, and so that's where you saw like him going live and all that stuff initially, like all through December. And we were just going to go ahead and go with like, oh, that's your place that you're renting, so that it wasn't attached to us, you know, because he always said.
Okay, I'm officially saying she's a whack job, is my opinion right now.
You know, when in fact it was probably.
I mean, you help friends and people when you can, but if your house is under construction to the point where you and your family need to move out and you have the opportunity to stay with relatives, but you are instead, Jagger, inside voice, instead you are going to go to the expense of renting out a new house or a different house so that you can accommodate these people that you know from the internet to stay with you, then if I tried to do that, or if my husband did that, we would have a serious issue if we had the option of just staying with relatives. But no, we're going to go to it's expensive to rent a house. And then, oh my gosh. Okay, hold on. Wow. So she rented a whole different house. That's insane to me. Sorry, one of my friends is cracking me up. Okay.
Always him. But
So at first, at first when you talked to him, you realized that he constantly played the sympathy card of people thinking, a victim card.
I didn't realize that. I realized he had kind of a bit.
Well, after the fact, you saw that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. yeah. I see it clearly as day now. But I knew he had issues. I did, but I felt like with some support and coaching in some direction, and me from that end, and then
I hope you guys can't see.
What? And everything. So we kind of tried to guide him, like, dude, if this is what you want to do with your life, straighten yourself out, stop calling people cunts and doing this. Like, we were trying to really kind of shape him, like, if this is what you want to do, then we'll help you do it.
Sorry.
But these are the kind of things that you have to do. You can't be going wild. You can't be calling people names. You can't be losing with Ricky, which was like you can't be going wild. You can't be calling people names.
Guys, I do see more people coming in. Again, I've said it a million times. It's important to me. Half of super chats and cash outs between now and December 22nd will go to the Project Linus for blankets for cold people. That's also what I'm knitting a scarf for, not for that, but just for, I sometimes take them to shelters in Nashville, or there's an underpass where I'll just drop off a bag where people are sleeping. Someone announced, why does not just give us the link to it to donate directly? There is the link if you would like to donate directly there instead of going through me. If you go through me, half of it goes to support the channel because this is a side hustle for me, and half of it goes to charity because it feels good to do something nice, nice too. But there's nothing wrong with me having a little side hustle too. So if you enjoy the content and want to donate through me, I appreciate it. If you want to donate directly there, I appreciate it. If you don't want to donate at all and just like watching, that's great too.
You can't be losing your money. And so if you go back to, it's kind of funny, if you go back to the live he did with Ricky, which was like he was really worked up about in December when he confronted Ricky.
I don't even know who the hell Ricky is.
At one point, they're like, are you always standing off to the left when he's doing his lives? And I said, yeah, I am. Because they could see him looking at me, and I'd usually be like, knock it off, this, that, or whatever. And I would coach him to try and keep him calm down.
So I picture her like a stage mom to the side being like, words like doing like the choreography and stuff. Wow, Bunny.
And obviously that didn't necessarily help. But again, at that point, I really felt like in the mental health world, we have the term the worried well. That's kind of the average person. We all have a little anxiety, things like that. None of us are perfectly all the time. And so
Yahoo Boy's face in this is just cracking me up. He's like looking at her like, I'm trying to understand where you're coming from, but I do not.
Felt like it was somewhere on that spectrum until I lived with him, and then I realized that we're talking some deeper stuff here. So, yeah.
All right, let's go to that now. Seeing some of your posts and some of the things that came out, you had some issues with their living standards, or not their living standards, but their living, the way that they lived in your house, and their upkeep, alcohol use. Is that
right? Okay, let's talk about some of those things. Again, I told them coming here, like, hey, you can start over.
I said earlier, I don't have a problem with John or Cody. He's always been nice to me personally. I am playing this because, and John, if he wants to come on here and talk about it, he can. I'm playing this because I was listening to Anna Maria earlier. They started telling me this ridiculous story about this woman kidnapping John and Cody and then withholding or kidnapping Cody and withholding socks from Cody, and it turning into like a hostage situation. And the story was like a Lifetime movie. And then someone sent me a link to these interviews and said to cover it. So this is nothing against John or Cody. If anything, I think this woman is a wackadoodle. I don't know. I've never heard this story before, so that's why I'm listening to it. My personal experience with John has always been pleasant. Whitney, of course she did.
Have a roof over your head, you'll have food on the table, and I was like, I'll buy them alcohol or whatever. So, I didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. When they were here that first weekend, again, got them a box of wine. It was still half full when they left. It wasn't anything out of the... But
you're playing the story from Yahoo Boy who interviewed John's family and this crazy lady who wanted to... I'm playing this story from her perspective, and she sounds crazy right here. I'm not replaying any story from an interview of John's family member. And if you don't want to listen, don't.
Ordinary. So, but I found, I don't even know how to describe it. And this is from me working with a pretty wide variety of people in a mental health field.
I'm sending Sean. I can extend it till Friday. Yeah, because that's a good idea. I can extend it till Friday if you want to do that. Yeah, I can extend it to Friday. Absolutely.
Milligan.
Shit.
Get quality you can trust.
Wait, no, not me. I don't want to go to me. Damn it. Hold on, I just lost it. I have said it a million times. I have still bedbound. Oh, I hope you get better too. I have never had anything but a very nice experience with John. He's never been anything but nice to me personally. So this is not.
Here that first weekend, again, got
If anything, I think this woman sounds crazy as shit.
a box of wine. It was still half full when they left. I mean, it wasn't anything out of the.
Yeah, if John wants to, and if John wants to come on here, or if this lady is around, or Yahoo Boy, we can all talk about it. I am just playing it because it sounded, I was cracking up when I was listening to Maria and Ann talk about this. Anyway.
Ordinary. So, but I found, I don't even know how to describe it. And this is from me working with a pretty wide variety of people in a mental health field in different settings. I've never seen anything like this before. Everything, like, he consumed.
What did you think you were going to get, girl, when you invite strangers to live in your home? Why would you, being from a mental health field, think that that was a good idea and that it would work out well? And you, not even your home, you went to the expense to rent another home to accommodate them.
Everything, like, he was like a bottomless pit, whatever it was. This one time I got a big thing of pecans, like candy pecans, for all of us to share. He literally hoarded that and ate the entire thing.
So she's accusing them of hoarding pecans.
Like, all of it. It was like $17. You know, you grab a handful, munch on them, and whatever. Like, he consumed it.
Well, he probably thought you had a lot of money since you rented a whole ass house for them to stay there, and the $17 pan of, what do they call it? Can of pecans would not, set you back a lot.
Also drink Coca-Cola. So I always have a case of Coke candy so I can have a Coke. I mean, I would get one out of a case. He would drink the entire case. Everything was just bizarre. So, and the same way with alcohol. Now for me, I have a ton of medical issues, not a drug problem, but several medical issues. One of them is I can't, and it affects my other medical issues. I cannot eat gluten. And so if it comes to like wanting to drink, and I don't drink very often, I drink for drinking holidays or special occasions, New Year's Eve, Memorial Day, whatever. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Veterans Day, George Washington's birthday, whatever.
Unless it's social. So, so it's not a huge deal, but I can't drink beer. And the only thing I ever really drank before was Corona. I love my.
This is Home Depot, John. Serendipity. If you are offended by this, don't listen. It's just a recap on what I think is a crazy story.
Well,
and I think this woman is
so
crazy
I have
for
to
doing
get
this.
Free beer, which is like finding a freaking unicorn, first of all. And second of all, it's like $10 to $12 for a 6-pack. So because they were there, I was like, okay, in the holidays, I was like, all right, I'll drink with them. My husband would get me a 6-pack, and I would get them like a case of light, a box of wine, and whatever. And he would still drink all my gluten-free beer, and I wasn't even touching.
I mean, how does your husband feel like that about this? Y'all have. Oh, crap. Sorry. Y'all have rented a whole ass other house, and if you keep buying the boxes of wine and the alcohol and stuff, it seems like they would think that they would be welcome
I was
to
like,
it.
okay. I actually thought it was Cody, and he allowed me to think it was Cody. It wasn't until after he was gone that Cody was like, it wasn't me, Jen. But he would drink all.
So what? So now she's saying John is going up to her and being like, hey, it's not me eating the pecans. It's Cody. Maybe that's why she wouldn't give Cody any socks.
Until we were about $60 into it, and I went to go have beer. There was none. My husband's like, do you want me to go get you another 6-pack? And I said, absolutely not. I'm like, nope, not interested.
So before you even allowed them in, did you consult your husband about all this, and what was his perspective?
Well, that was it. Yeah, I mean, I never even would have offered, obviously. things as well. So if he would have had any concerns, that would have been it. But he was like, no, let's go ahead, because he's the same way. He helps people, and he's like, no, let's go ahead. And I said, okay. So that's why.
Again, a difference between helping people and renting a whole house, a whole separate house. You weren't even in a position to have people live with you at your house. You weren't in a position, according to her, to live at your house yourself. But so you rent a whole other house instead of staying with family so that your friends from the internet can come stay with you. She sounds like a wackadoodle to me.
But yeah, and he would have done whatever. I mean, there was a point early on, maybe a few days in, that I had a little bit of a concern already. And my husband was like, do you want me to kick him out? I'll kick him out. And I'm like, no, look, they just got here. We'll just keep an eye on them. You know, we'll just be more vigilant and whatever. And yeah, that was basically it. So.
All right. And were they trying to get a job or anything? Were they actually employed or something? Or
he told me.
And if any of y'all are mad that I'm playing this, you can blame Maria and Ann, because they told me this story. You can blame them for a lot tonight, for me being late, for us being in this conversation right now. Because when I heard that later, it was not just a kidnapping, there was a possible R involved with Cody from this woman because Cody wanted socks.
They were trying, you know, I will tell you this, when they first arrived, I said, look, you know, because they were like, oh, we're going to start working on Monday.
Serendipity.
And I said, you know what? I'm like, just take
this whole thing is supposed to be kind of funny, and you are getting on my nerves. So I am going to block you. Y'all, I'm kidding about Maria. I'm being funny. Maria knows that, and so does Ann.
easy, like no rush, you know, like get some rest. You need to like sleep. You need to get food. You know, you look like hell. I mean, Cody looks his average health, but John looked beaten. You know,
I've never heard this story forever.
You know, and I'm like, you need to kind of rest up and get yourself back together, and then you can start looking in like a week or two. You know, he said he was looking, but you know, there's no way for me to verify if they actually applied for anything. And so the job that they did get was actually.
Well, you're verifying that they ate all the pecans and verifying everything else. So how do you not know? Surprised you didn't put little trackers on them.
It's when we went out on New Year's Eve, and my husband, we asked, you know, the bar that we used to go to. So that's how they got that job. Okay,
and that lasted maybe a few weeks.
Blame it on Maria.
I will tell you some things about that. They both, you know, worked together, and after, you know, just maybe a week, they were really, his boss was really impressed with Cody, like very impressed with Cody. He's a good worker. He really is. And that's why I also had hope for Cody
Wanda?
Being away from John. Like, he really could start over and get his life back together because he has some good qualities. And,
Jojo,
so
you should be sorry.
Cody a manager. That's kind of where that was going. But John really.
So they were going to so they went to this bar New Year's Eve, and they were going, that's where she got Cody the job as a bartender. So they were so pissed that John and Cody, well, really it was John, but she thought it was John and Cody, but Cody came to her in private and said, no, it's not me that's eating all the nuts and drinking the beer. It's John. And she was pissed about it already. They were so pissed, they take them out on New Year's Eve for cocktails and a party. And then she gets Cody a job as a bartender at this place. And he does really well and almost becomes a bar manager. So I don't know how she ended up she kind of skips over how that happened.
Embarrassed me because he, it was just a couple days into it. I guess the owner had come in and he had told the bartender something about John, like about he shouldn't be throwing out the garbage before it's full or something like that.
Oh, they were both working at the bar.
Okay, like no big deal. He was in such a tailspin when he came home here and made such a huge deal about being criticized. Like, I did stand in his store. I'm like, look, you need to calm down. Like, these people are looking at you guys for management. And like, if you can't take.
So did she know the bar owner? So now she's scolding. So apparently there was an issue because the manager of the bar, they'd been there for a couple days. They were already being considered for promotions, and all due to Home Depot Jen. It's all credit to her. And they came home ranting about an issue with taking out the trash too early. And she told them to calm down. You guys are being looked at for management positions.
Well, I guess we know he can't, but you know.
He was criticized for not taking the trash out.
For taking it out.
Yahoo
like,
Boy
not
is
putting it back
cracking me
before,
up in
which
this
is common
interview.
sense. Like, okay, don't throw out like a third of a bag of garbage.
I would
bad
love
that way.
for
But
Yahoo
I mean,
Boy
I
to
did,
come
you
and
know,
interview
post
these.
it,
I
like,
don't know
wasn't
him
a
very
big deal.
well,
It wasn't
but,
like, oh,
or
it's
at
really
all,
a
but
short thing, let him know not to do that. And that was even too much for him. And I kind of came down on him for that because I was like, how are you going to be a manager if you can't even handle stuff like this? I'm like, okay, helped you get this job. Don't embarrass us.
like don't embarrass us. Do y'all know the people at the bar? Did you just go drink their New Year's Eve? Management positions after like 2 days.
But they were making an income, so they were bringing something home. Were they even offering you, any
Yeah.
rent money?
No, no. In fact, John got his first check right before all this went down, and he also, in fact, he got.
So it doesn't sound like she made it, in their defense on this, that she made it seem like she expected any money. It sounds like she's looking like she's a high roller. No problem. We can rent a whole nother house. No problem. Here's boxes of wine. Here's beer. Come out with us for New Year's Eve.
Checks. He deposited them via phone because we had to explain to him how to do that. And this is kind of messed up, actually. He was the only one with.
So she's explaining to them how to deposit their checks via phone.
Account, because Cody even told me this. He's like, I am not on the checking account. It's just in John's name. So he signed Cody's first check and deposited it, which probably was normal for them to do. Well, actually, Cody said he used to only get paid cash, so that probably was unusual anyway. But and deposited it into his account, and then right after that he left. So he basically left with Cody's full paycheck, which put Cody in a.
Why would Cody just get paid cash most of the time? And so he left, or he got kicked out with Cody's full paycheck?
Because he was about to pay his car insurance and try to get things caught up or whatever. So yeah, his whole I think it was like 400 something first paycheck John took off with and left him with.
All right, so to kind of backtrack a bit about this, so the entire
Thank you.
year of 2019, they bounced around to like 3 different places and bounced around to different jobs. And then finally they settled in Indiana with you for a very short time, worked in a restaurant or a bar for a very short time as well, and made a few checks. And then we're not going to get to what happened after that because I think we know. But what led to the issues with the three of you, Cody, you, and John, leading John to be kicked out?
Thank you. She's
They
glazed right over
okay,
that.
actually, I do think this. There's a little piece missing because I don't know. Cody didn't really tell me why they fought that night. What started their fight? But I will tell you.
So they had a fight. There's a fight.
A few days before what happened, because tension was already building between John and I, probably almost the whole time. To be honest with you, just slowly building, kind of like an oil and water kind of thing, and that. Cody.
But y'all were such
Cody
good friends.
Was more of an average person. Like he would talk to you like a normal human being. Like he knows me as a person. He knows about my life. John, who's known me for 4 years, does not know shit about me because all conversations are about John.
If you don't feel like he knows shit about you, why did you invite him to live in your house and rent a whole nother house? You couldn't even live in your house.
Only about John. So Cody and I started building a friendship just because he would talk to me. So that kind of grated John's nerves right off the bat. But also. John and I just really, I don't think we're going to see eye to eye on a daily basis, like personality wise and stuff like that. So I think that tension was kind of building and we, whatever, it was fine for the most part. But earlier in that week, some things happened and actually maybe later,
like
jump, and fill in some of this later or something. But I got a message. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. That's the other thing. I'm not paying attention and that used to piss him off. Like I didn't watch his lives. I didn't watch his stories. I mean, I go about my life. That's just how it.
Then how did you know the man? You just said that you followed him for a very long time.
It's not my whole life. So he apparently had messaged.
It's not your whole life. But again, you follow enough to rent a whole other house for these people to live with you. Oh my gosh, guys, there is a documentary on, pause real quick, on Netflix, Daddy's Disappointment if you're watching. And I'll send you a DM about it or anybody who would like to discuss it with me. It's called Don't Pick Up the Phone. It's good. It's real good. I want to talk about that at some point.
He had messaged all kinds of things. I didn't read them, whatever. And it was in a group DM. And so I had no idea what was going on.
A group DM with who? Who was in your house?
I was sitting here in my living room. My husband was home that day. It was probably about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 or 5. And John had just gotten up.
Oh, Anastasia, she's got to be a wacko for even doing any of this.
Their bedroom was over there. Walked out here, walked out.
Oh, she's showing us where.
Smoke over on the patio there. And we had a different couch and everything up here at that time. And so we were sitting up here, and I opened my phone, and I got a message from Avery Milk, DM, and she's like, "Hey,"
From
she's
Avery.
like,
I don't
"John's
know who
really
that
pissed
is.
off at me and like fighting with Omar, and can you just talk to him?" And she didn't even know that he was actually here.
Who the hell are Avery and Omar?
And I was like, "Hey, no problem. Like, let me just check out what's going on. I'll get back to you." So he happened to just walk out at that point, came back in after the smoke. We're sitting here, and I look up at him, and I go, "John," I'm like, "I just got a message from Avery," and I couldn't even get a word out. He was like, "Fuck Avery," and blah, 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 you know, he went on his rant.
Right,
And
Irish
so
last
then he
week.
and I
Might
kind
talk
of
about that
had words, and I was like,
tomorrow.
"Whoa, dude, you need to slow down." Like, Catholicism doesn't approve of gay people either. You know, I mean, he was talking about Muslims and all that stuff.
It was. I covered that, and I told you guys to watch it. Sorry.
And so I think that's where things started that week, honestly. And I don't know
So
what
it's a
happened
90
between
days
him and
couple.
Cody in
Okay,
regard
thank
to
you.
that, honestly. But that was a few days before the big incident. So it is
The big incident.
Friday, January 24th. They both worked that night, went to work together. According to Cody, had a great night. They even stayed after work, had some drinks at work, and then were on their way home. And the roads were kind of bad. He said that John just started speeding, like doing 90, and Cody was like, "You need to slow down, you're scaring me." Started bickering and fighting. Got into it more once they got into our
It
neighborhood.
was good.
I had gone to bed, and I'm usually up a little bit later. I mean, I'd say average like maybe
Seems to be a
1:30 or
little
something.
longer.
But I went to bed kind of early that night. I went to bed probably about 11:30. So I was pretty sound asleep, and it was 3:30, and I usually wouldn't hear them when they came in, you know, or if I did, I heard them come in, and that was it, went back to sleep. So I heard them come in, and I hear voices, and I just kind of, everybody else is asleep. I'm like, okay, I'm just trying to listen and see if they're fighting, arguing, and
The name of the documentary I covered before that no one had seen, it was called Tickled, and it was batshit crazy to me. And then there's one that Daddy's Disappointment and I covered the other day called Voyeur on Netflix. That was super good. And then the one that I want to cover next is on Netflix right now, and it's called Don't Pick Up the Phone, and I watched it today. I am knitting, and this is for either the women's shelter, or it might be one of the ones that I just take and put under the underpass. I'm almost done with it. So that's why it was called Stitch and Bitch. A beginner's knitting kit. Knitting, Maria's supposed to teach me how to knit in the round. My mom, because beanies take a lot less time and supposedly are easy, but I don't know how to, I can't make my hands work with those knitting needles. Like they have like a wire attached. I don't know how to do it. And I'd like to learn how to crochet because my mom crochet like beautiful Afghans, and she said crocheting was easier. I think she also crocheted beanies too. Anyway, okay, back to this.
The volume on my TV, and the voices got louder than the TV. The next thing I hear is somebody like slapping the shit out of somebody. So I jumped up out of bed and came out into my living room that you're seeing right here. This is where it all happened, actually. And I was actually, like, I was standing over there.
The room where it happens. The room where it happens.
From the hallway.
Got to do my Hamilton song for you Hamill fans. I want to be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens. Good God, in God we trust. But no one knows what got discussed. Want to be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens.
Here,
so this is the room where it happens.
Cody was bent over this banister right here.
The room where it happens.
He got bent over this banister and was smacking the shit out of him. And I walked in and I said, "You need to stop right now." I'm like, "I have got a 7-year-old in this house, and there was not going to be any domestic violence." And not only was there that, I mean, after that, he was like knocking my shit around. I mean, I thought some of my stuff was going to break. He just had no regard. He just really didn't care. So that's when, as soon as I walked in and confronted him verbally, and Cody even made a point of saying this, you know, Cody came and like sat over here in this other corner, and like he forgot about Cody. He was in my face, like screaming at me, calling me all kinds of names and whatever. And I said, "Dude, you know, you can't get under my skin. You can't, you know." "Oh yeah, you're such a bad bitch, Jennifer." So that's kind of how that happened. So then I go to wake up my husband, who's like, he sleeps like you can't wake him up. So I go wake him up, or try to, and tell him what
her husband did not wake up during any of this ruckus.
on, and he's just kind of startled. And then by that time, they moved back to their bedroom, which is now my husband's office, actually.
You'll love it, Mimsy. Maybe we'll try to learn to crochet together.
Shut the door, so I pop out and walk into their bedroom, and he pushed Cody down on the floor. I think that's where the back bruise actually came from. It could have been the banister, but I don't know.
Can you show us?
The pictures? Oh,
show us the area.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I want to be in the room where it happens. The room where it happens.
Bent over the banister here. Okay, that's
the alleged crime scene.
This was their bedroom.
Hi, Maria. I
Just showing
want to
real quick.
be in the room
This
where
was
it
their bedroom here.
happens,
It's not my
the
house.
room
It's my
where it
husband's office.
happens.
And so I walked in right here, and John was like probably right about here, and Cody he knocked him right on the floor down here. Sorry, we have a bathroom remodel going on now too. What?
Sorry, I see somebody else with the website.
Yeah. Yeah, I asked him to join me, but he's always working. So yeah, that's when. So by the time that happened, then I went back and got Tim and woke him up. I was like, "You've got to get up now. You've got to get up." And so then that second
Shit's
time,
going
when
down. Get
he
up.
finally woke up and came out and saw what was happening, because he was like, "I just thought that he was being loud. He was on one of his lives, and that's why he was being loud." So it didn't register the first.
Which that would be fine in y'all's rental house with your kids and stuff. Like, good God. I'm surprised that y'all didn't just bend over. Sorry.
But I woke him up. But then Tim came out and got in between them, and that's when we told John he had to leave. So.
And so that's what left that bruising on the side.
Yeah, I think, he hit that floor really hard. I mean, it startled Cody. That's why I was so freaked out. It wasn't like he just tripped and fell. Like, he hit hard. And that's actually what I said to him when that happened. I said, if you lay another fucking hand on him, I am calling the cops. I promise you that. But by this time, the cops that even asked us, they're like, why didn't you call? I said, look, I'm like, by this time it was 5 a.m. We are the new.
Now who needs to see the room? I don't know, Kelly, all day. It's just kind of, it's like a documentary, a crime scene tour. Like I said, if anyone wants to join me, as doing a reenactment of this, if we could do a little play, like I would love that journey for us.
In an upper class neighborhood, a biracial couple. I'm not calling the cops.
In an upper class neighborhood. You go, girl.
5 a.m. We don't have to. I said, I just wanted him out. And I did. I mean, he could have walked away from this. He could have, and that's sad to say, but.
No, he keeps telling people that you were trying to steal Cody away from him. And yeah.
Burn. So there we go. She was trying to steal Cody away from him. Damn.
Yeah, that's what he told me, that you were trying to steal Cody away from him, and you were overly friendly with him and expose your breast to him to try to have sex with him. But
Right.
what do you respond to that?
Defamation of character is what I respond to that. And he needs to keep doing shit like that. If he wants me to fucking take him to court, I will. That's what I have to say to that. That's what I have to say to that shit. Because he knows better. First of all, not that I want to announce to the world, but sorry, I'm in menopause. I'm really not that interested in sex anymore. Bless my husband's heart. But for him, I am. But it's not, which is irrelevant, because I would never cheat regardless.
It is irrelevant to whether or not you were going to expose your breast. That has nothing to do with anything.
Certainly, I'm not attracted to fucking Cody, for God's sake.
And,
Clutching my pearls.
So John gets booted out of the house.
Yeah.
Cody stays, and John leaves. Where
Well, okay. First thing, and I'm going to tell you this: actually, my husband told Cody. At that point, he's like, "Look,
Yahoo Boy has got to think she's ape shit. I love the way he's looking at her in this.
And how this goes, and no matter what you decide to do, we support you. If you want to go back, then we support your decision. But you can stay here. We're not going to kick you."
So I picture her sitting there topless, talking to Cody, telling him, if you want to go back, we support you. If not, you can stay here where we all walk around topless.
But John has to go. He's going. He's not staying here. So it's your decision. And so that's where the decision came. But as far as when he left, we weren't really sure at first. We assumed he probably went to Ohio, but we weren't certain. And I think Cody knew within a day or so, that's where he was. And he went to I don't know how you say the last name, Mahar's house. But Danielle's house.
I see.
Went to bed at Danielle.
Now, Cody stays an extra month at your house, and would you say, who was the dominant person in that relationship?
Oh my God, John.
It sounds like it was Home Depot Jen. She is excited, and she sounds more excited because I have this sped up. But
I'm sorry.
She-
I'm sorry for
she
posting.
thinks
No, you can get into this. It's okay. We need to know.
It was before any of this happened. It was clear. Cody waits on him hand and foot like a 50s wife. I used to say things to him beforehand, like I'd make food or whatever.
it sounds like you did too, girl.
Okay, food's ready and whatever. And Cody would go serve him. It's not like he worked 12 hours a day and can't get up off his lazy ass. He can go get his own plates. I'm like, Cody, quit doing that. So he's very much the peacemaker that keeps
Cody, stop doing that as she stops.
all together. And there's no balance in power at all. It's very stark.
No balance.
It's a very
in
stark
power.
contrast.
And but they were both making the same amount of money. They were both bringing the same amount of money. Okay, so
Yeah.
there wasn't like a breadwinner type type scenario?
No.
One was dominant, one was.
No, just, I mean, and, you know, on an emotional level, but yeah, not on a financial level.
And so was Cody, did Cody seem like the type of person that would jump off a cliff if John told him to?
I will tell you this, when he's with him,
Awesome.
yes. When he's not, no. I've never seen a dynamic like this working with domestic violence. I mean, I know how the dynamic works, but it's almost like
What kind of dynamics has she seen? And y'all, if these are the people that are counseling people that need help, we're in trouble.
all over Cody once he's there. Because once him and John split and Cody stayed, and I started talking to him about standard domestic violence stuff that I would to any person that was a victim of it, he took it right in. I mean, I will say he didn't understand it for part of maybe what makes him think he's not a domestic violence victim, or what he's told himself, is because they're both guys and guys fight. And I said, Cody, first of all, I don't care if you're gay, straight, whatever, men, women, it doesn't matter. Your partner should never put hands on you. They should never abuse you. That person should be there to support you.
She's giving him advice
and, like,
because she has it all together.
Guys. That's why I was like, it happens in the LGBT community. You know, and so, you know, he just, I don't know. But apart from him, he really had the potential to kind of recover and take a different direction with his life. I did tell him at one point, I said, Cody, if you do go back, I'm like, here's what's going to happen. You know, if you go back, first of all, I said, this is your one opportunity that you have left.
If you go back, I'm not giving you any socks, and I'm not showing you my glorious bazooms anymore.
To get it straight, if you go back with him, it's all going to be downhill from there. But, you know, that's your choice. But I also said, look, I think that you guys are going to kill each other one of these days. I said, honestly, I think John's going to end up killing you, and then he's going to kill himself after he kills you. So you're not saving him by going back, you know. But he does feel very emotionally responsible. It's that codependency kind of stuff, if you're familiar with that. But he feels very responsible for John. He knows that John has nobody. And so it's like he feels like it's his lot in life to take that on.
Very
Very
strong
interesting.
analysis there. Now,
I love Yahoo Boy's face in this.
where did Cody, when he entrusted you in private conversation, did he say that John abused him in the past?
When you were having your private conversations and you were topless, what did he say to you?
Oh yeah, that's all in the police report. Yeah, there's details of. I mean, I heard a lot of their stories, and a lot of it is also in the police report.
Yeah. So,
Yeah. I mean,
Does anyone have access to LexisNexis so that we can get a copy of this police report?
several incidents, absolutely.
but can you go into that?
Yeah. Okay. So he talked about one time with they were in the kitchen of their apartment. I can't remember what he said they were arguing over. But Cody often did not go to the hospital, and I don't know if he did on this time. It would seem like he would have because of the seriousness of the injury. But John broke a glass over his head, and like it was like meat hanging out from what he said. He showed the cop. Oh yeah, he showed the cop the scars, like he has scars on his chest.
And while he was telling me, I was rubbing his head between my bare bosom, telling him, Cody, you don't have to go through this. You don't have to go through this. Oh, I hope you don't have COVID. You okay? Everything all right, Maria?
That might have been also from that side. I can't remember. But he did show different scars to the.
Let me stop you there. When did that happen?
That I don't know. I mean, I can look. I don't even think it's noted in the police report.
She just said it was in the police
for a while. So he had scars from glass bottle, right? And some stitches, I guess. And besides that, anything else?
Like I said, what I saw here. I'm trying to think if there's any other specific things. He talked about John being on a live one time, and he also did talk about this to the police about being on a live one time and like literally fake.
Yeah, Maria, are you okay? Oh no, I hope Carlos is okay. You know, Carlos and I have a special feelings for Carlos, and I hope that he and you are okay.
He was like, I was in the next room watching TV or something, and John was on a live saying, Cody, stop hitting me.
So again, she's bare-breasted. She's petting Cody's head, and he's telling all their troubles. In between, while she's forcing him to motorboat her, she's popping pecans in his mouth.
hitting me because like I wasn't even in the same room with him. And so that, like that's a Netflix report there too. I haven't looked at it for a while. So I'm trying to think. There was that, the glass, there was the incident with the broken arm, but that was John's broken arm. And he did explain that to me. And he said that he kept coming at him. I think Cody was knocked over and he kept coming at him and like Cody kicked him back and that's when he broke his arm. But John will tell you, he even said that then. You want to talk about it? I had a broken arm. And I do remember when he had a broken arm. And his pain meds and all that good stuff. So that recent incident, which was around Cody's birthday, my vibe is that there was a domestic violence incident there. No offense. I think it was my damn knife that he stole from my kitchen.
So,
She thinks he stole a knife from her kitchen.
pain meds. Curious to find out if you had any recollection of drug abuse.
Well, I will tell you, when we moved into the rental, okay, so the rental place was a really weird old setup, about a mile down, like I said, down the road from us in another beach community. And their room was downstairs when you first walked into the.
So did they live with her in a couple different houses? I'm not following all of this. Did they live with her in a couple different houses?
And the rest of it was upstairs. So like you walked in and their room was on the left and then the garage was on the right. And then the laundry room was right in back of their room. So you had to walk through their room to get into the laundry room. So there was one day they were out or whatever and I went in to get my laundry and I saw a tinfoil pipe sitting on the shelf. And I was like, huh. And I don't know, I haven't been able to go back through all my pictures and screenshots yet. They're there and one day I'll do that, but not today. And I don't know if I took a picture of it. I hope I did. But I was like, okay, that's sketchy, but maybe that's just for pot or something. And so I kind of just filed it in the back of my head. And then
just filed it
under
under here.
When we moved into the house, back into the house here, and they had it out. We were all in the room when I saw it, so I was getting some more of our stuff out of that room. And they just kind of looked at each other. So I was talking to somebody that was really familiar with like heavier drug use, and she said, no, that is really, she goes, it really could be for meth and things like that. She's like, that's commonly used. And he told me, he's like, I really love Cody's tinfoil pipes that he makes. He does such a good job or whatever. I was like, okay. Again, it wasn't clicking with me, but.
This woman is fucking Looney Tunes.
So I didn't immediately think so, but the behavior and how erratic his behavior got, there were times that he stayed up for 3 days straight. Okay, that's crazy. Okay, something's keeping.
The whole time while he was up, I was comforting Cody against my bare breast, telling him it's okay. Sleep here. Sleep here. You can sleep.
My husband would be leaving for work at 7 a.m. and John was still up. That was pretty typical. And obviously we all see that because of his lives and everything. But the 3-day bender, I don't know. I always thought it was really strange that they would leave every single day, like to get cigarettes and be gone for like an hour, 2 hours when I could walk like, 15 minutes from our house to get it. And I would be like, why don't you guys just get a couple of packs? You don't have to run out every day. Oh, we just like to, blah, blah, blah. So they did also, we went out to eat one time with my friend who was a cop, and he was really bugged out about John. He said,
so again, she's so pissed that they are eating up all of her food, drinking all her alcohol, all this stuff. And not only did they take them out for New Year's Eve, they're taking them out to dinner.
Cody seemed like a pretty decent person or whatever, but like, he was wigged out by that. So I had asked him, John has an obsession with truck stop Denny's. Don't ask me why. Like, that's where he wanted to go eat for his birthday. I was like, okay.
Yahoo Boy's in here?
The expressway isn't too far from here, so there's an area where there's truck stops. And so
Yahoo Boy, I am enjoying this a lot. If you would like, Yahoo Boy and I've never spoken, never met each other. I hope you don't mind me playing this. And I have told everyone that they can watch it for themselves on your channel. There's the link if you'd like to take it. Maria and Ann mentioned this story earlier on their live. I thought they were lying. So that's why I'm replaying it now.
Cop friend, and I said, I'm like, can you get like a lot of drugs at a truck stop? And he said, oh yeah, absolutely. He's like, that's an easy place for people to store.
So this woman is a domestic violence counselor or whatever, has a background in all this, and she doesn't realize that a truck stop is an easy place to get drugs. Okay, girl.
That, it's entirely possible. So I'm just connecting those dots there. I can't say that it's true, but it would make sense.
I see. I dropped the link if Yahoo Boy would like to come up and tell us his thoughts about this.
With everything. And they would have been able to do whatever they wanted down in their room every night because it was literally separated from the rest of our house where we were staying. So we probably wouldn't have noticed anyway. I do know it was probably about a week before Cody left. And we had ordered a pizza one night and he was like, I'll go get it. And
Also buying them pizza, even though they're pissed that they're eating all their stuff.
okay, that's cool. And then we don't have to run out and get it. He's like, I gotta go get cigarettes anyway. All right. Told him how to get it. He came back and the pizza was all wet. And I said, did you drop the pizza? And he's
The
like, no.
pizza was
I mean,
wet.
like the whole thing, like the toppings were all gone. It was a mess. It was really, we should just throw it away. But he was so messed up when he left sober, came back. He wasn't drunk. I mean, he was out of it. Whatever happened in that hour, I don't know what it was, but it's not anything I've ever seen before. So, I mean, he was intoxicated with something, and it wasn't
I
alcohol.
dropped a damn
But did
stick.
you ever actually find any pipes, any type of residues or anything inside of his room? Or anything?
No. I mean, the tinfoil pipes, yes, those tinfoil pipes, and it's probably the same pipe, but yeah,
Tinfoil pipe inside the room?
in the bedroom twice, yeah.
And no residue, just the pipes.
Yeah, I mean, well, I didn't look at
Oh,
it.
hold on. There's Yahoo Boy right here, the interviewer himself. Hi.
Hey there, how you doing?
I am good. I am enjoying your face in this interview.
Yeah, I try to, maintain a composure,
So what were you thinking when did you think this woman did you know this woman before this interview?
No.
Did you think that this was a very crazy story?
I mean, if you know, have you ever seen John on a drunk binge one night and just doing the most craziest shit ever?
Mm-hmm.
Most of the stuff that she's saying would not bewilder me at all. Because he tries to dirty delete everything and
What
cover up.
bewilders me though is what she says at the beginning is that their house is under construction, so they can't even live in their house.
Yeah, I know they have
Rent the house.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, quick story. They had like a house that they got as like a rehab house, so you get like a rehab loan. That's what I think allegedly, and they were just fixing it up and renovating everything. And when they decided to host, the cottage boys, they didn't have adequate space for them and decided to have a Airbnb for a month, and that's what happened with that.
That's a little insane to me because she said they could have stayed with relatives. So instead of doing that, you go to the expense of
Well, I mean,
of
obviously
getting
they're
a whole
they're
other
trying to make them feel comfortable. That's
But you don't have the means at this point. You don't have the means to stay in your own house. But so
Yeah.
for these people that you know on the internet, you're going to go to the expense of renting a whole another house when your house is under construction. Do you see what I'm saying?
Hey, I with thinking hindsight, I believe it's way overboard, but I don't know. Jen's of Polish descent. I think she was raised the way like you have to provide hospitality to your guests, things like that, and it's like a different culture, if you understand what I mean. So, for example, when we went to Poland, our like my wife's family, they would leave all their bedrooms open to all the guests and make them feel as comfortable as possible. I think Jen was probably doing the same thing.
No, but I have manners. I don't think what I don't understand is they had to move out of their own house. So
I know.
Under such construction,
I mean,
I have to move out of it. I'm not in the position to offer someone else a place to stay, and that's generous.
It is what it is. I mean, I'm not
different house so that I can accommodate other people is what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't know what else to say. Hindsight tells me that she went way overboard with it, but it is what it is at this point. It's been talked about obviously over and over and over again for.
I haven't heard it. I just heard it when Anna and Maria were talking about it tonight. So I know that there's some more interviews on there. Did she? So what's your stand? Do you think she tried to take advantage of Cody?
No.
Or kidnap him?
I mean, you have people in your chat right now that he's accused of raping their cats, and I'm sorry, I know we're not supposed to say those things, but he's accused different people of like grand theft and all kinds of crazy stuff. Do you actually believe that somebody? I mean, Cody is he's not that. I mean, for a guy probably not even decent looking, why would anybody want to corner him and
I
you
well, I
know
mean, I don't know. Maybe somebody. I
confine
mean,
him and try to do
we're
anything
not
with
talking
him?
about Cody's attractiveness here. Like, we're not going to look shame Cody. I knew that there are people that John's been controversial. Like I said, I've never had an experience with.
Just because you haven't had it, you
I
have
know,
to keep your eyes open.
and
It's happened to me. I mean, you have people in your chat right now that he's done probably worse things to, and people watching the bushes. So you just never know.
no. Oh, I know. I'm just saying that the reason why I'm replaying this, someone was getting on to me that she was like, "I thought you were friends with John," and this is not.
Yeah,
This is
look,
because
if
I
you're
heard this
just
story and
commentating on it,
interesting. Hmm?
some of the hardcore John, lovers, they will go to the extent of being butthurt and snowflaked out about the slightest things that you're doing involving John. So I wouldn't even worry about it.
Yeah.
Um,
I
if he I mean, he's revisited this whole story over and over and over again. So this is, I mean, if this is new to you, it's not nothing.
I never, and a lot of people expect. I didn't know much about John until it's been about a year since I started like kind of following him at all. So I don't know about a lot about this history and things like this, and about I didn't know who Home Depot Jen is. I think it's unfortunate that she got the nickname Home Depot Jen because she did one live from Home Depot. It makes her sound like
It was actually Costco.
it makes her sound like a very robust lumberjack type woman.
It was actually in Costco, and it was a last minute thing because Sherelle wanted to bury his ass. So she got as many people as possible on a live stream to trash him. And that included, Jen, Home Depot Jen. So that's where and the person that actually named her was Jolene, because Home Depot Jen,
And I just started listening to Jolene, and I think she's really funny. I just a lot of people.
I mean, I think she's funny in some ways. I think they go a little way overboard with the, social justice type shit. It's not really necessary. But I think.
And you and I have never met, and I've been in the community a lot of people assume that I know who all these people are, and I don't, know all these stories because I was just kind of involved in, I have a degree in genealogy, according, Jen Bailey. That was my focus of study.
Wait, don't you have a degree in prank calling too?
With what? Prank call, yeah. So, but that's mostly to Jen. So, like, I came into this community with Tracy, and it was just kind of focusing on Tracy and Jen. So I didn't start watching, the other channels and stuff until about a year ago. So I don't know a whole lot. I have missed a lot, Whitney. I don't know a lot about, a lot of things that have happened that people expect me to know about, because people are like, I can't believe you've never heard this story. I haven't.
It's pretty wild, but I mean, I've got other videos of John in his own words. John in his own words saying the most wildest accusations on people. And for example, he accused Terry Lynn of slashing his tires. That never happened, by the way, because that was a routine service. They needed to get tires. They found a way to scam it from Natalie. Got money from Natalie. Got all her tires changed and
used to slash tires from a different state.
Yeah, so he accused Terry Lynn of slashing his tires, and said that Jay Today was copping up to the crime and a felony, where he never actually made a police report involving any slash tires. I mean, this guy calls the police when he's got a itch in his ass, but he failed to call the police when he was stalked and his tires were slashed. That doesn't make any sense to me. You know, it's stuff like that. And he accused Carolyn of slashing tires and said that Jay Today from another country was involved in that as well. Had a meeting with a detective and tried to get them to do something about it. Uh, I'm not even divulging like a quarter of every, or I'm sorry, like a lot of the stuff that I already know about what this guy does behind the scenes, but it's ridiculous. Wildest accusations, and Seaside Heights is absolutely freaking tired of this dude.
So I don't know. I just I don't know. It's just kind of a fascinating thing because if all that's true, if what everyone says is true, he has a lot of supporters. And
No, he cycles through them like laundry. So there's some people that kind of cling on, that one shirt that just, you can't get rid of and you always like, he likes Mother Teresa or whatever her name is. Keeps her around even though sometimes he abuses her.
but a lot of like if I get a $10 super chat or a $2, I'm thrilled. But $20,000, like giving someone $20,000, that's insane. So they're
$31,200 in wire transfers. That's not including super chats. That's not including membership, monthly memberships, and that's all only within a year. I know that woman,
that must be because people enjoy his content, or
God rest her soul, but
yes,
she was financially supporting the guy for at least over 2 years. I mean, I've seen her super chatting him and $300 in one night, and all because she thought he was a victim. And look at the outcome in the end. It's pretty tragic.
I agree with that, and God rest her soul. But people that are sending it, they must be sending at this point. If people are sending him money on the internet and stuff, then they're doing it at their own choice. And if he's accepting it, that's not a problem.
Yeah, I know that's a sad thing because a lot of people, a lot of bored people, idolize. We got to stop idolizing people on the internet. Also, on YouTube, not everybody on YouTube is a good person. I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't know my much about me, and just because I put out some content or make myself out as a victim online doesn't mean that I'm just just using you or whatever. So my my thing is, a lot of these YouTubers, they're professional con artists in my opinion. Especially the ones that constantly play the victim role and fight with people and shit like that. I just find it to be ridiculous.
I see a lot of the victim role, and that bothers me because I make it clear, like, I appreciate the super chats, I appreciate the cash apps. That makes me very excited that anyone cares what I have to say, or it's like getting tipped, or something, and it's great if it can turn into like a side hustle. But if you're having trouble paying your bills, like, this is not something I need to do to pay my bills. And if you're having trouble paying
exactly, and any Joe Schmo from down the street could open up a YouTube channel and outrun you in a heartbeat if his content is catches the eye of somebody. Now everybody's doing these short videos and making some money on that, but we're talking about a billion, possibly, I don't know, I'm just overdoing it, but channels right now competing with one another for cash and market share, and it's just not. You always have to have a backup plan, and a lot of people on here, I just don't get it. It's like, they're just coming on and
Do
fighting with
you
each
have a
other.
source of income besides this? It's a personal
Sorry?
question.
What's that?
Do you have a source of income besides this?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and it's
I
not
don't. This is
your only source of income.
I don't make any income online. I don't know who even came up with that. I've not made a single dime online. I've had my family fucked with, but my thing is I've had my objective has been to make sure that John Yates was held accountable for his shit. I mean, I've had other instances where I come on panel and interview some cast members from 90 Day and things like that, but the show is just kind of like tapered off and
It's
in
a lot.
ratings.
I got into it for a couple seasons, and then it just became
Yeah,
like
it's kind of like repetitive kind of storylines and recycling old cast members to new shit, and it's kind of tiresome at this point. And they're tightening up with
the
the cast
India.
members talking to bloggers and things like that. So there's really not much you could do. And the market share of people trying to get involved and commentate on it is getting bigger and bigger, and you got much better YouTubers covering like the tea spills and things from Reddit that they found out, or leaks of relationships. So it's if they have the time for it, great for them, but none of this shit is forever. Even I think even in the back of her head, Sherelle realizes that she's gonna need a backup plan once things um, taper off with her ratings and her views and things like that.
I don't even have a problem with if this is your only source of income. Like that's okay, but don't. I do have a problem with if this is your only source of income and it's not cutting it for you, then get up and get another job.
Yeah.
Because this is, I mean, it's literally, it's kind of like panhandling, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of stupid. Okay, so like, for example, John Yates, remember when his computer had that problem? He's like, oh my keyboard's typing on its own or whatever. I don't know if you remember that when he was like sad fishing for a new computer.
I remember when he needed, yeah.
Ago. Yeah. So if he did a very quick like Google search of what the problem could be, it's the fucking battery. You just buy a new battery for $20 on eBay or Amazon. Open it up, change the battery, everything's fixed. Because what happens with the fucking MacBook is those batteries swell up and kind of explode inside the keyboard and touches the other keys and stuff. So and makes your mouse pad and things like that work on its own. So instead of doing the very basic thing of like understanding the shit that you have in your house and being self-sufficient, the guy sad fishes online instead and gets a hag to pay for a brand new computer. That's how pathetic this is. That's my thing.
My thing also though is if people are doing it, then that's kind of on them.
And it's not. I understand it's not just him. I followed a whole bunch of other people over the years, kind of like rise and fall and things like that. And it's always the same thing. They have a peak and a valley and just drop off. And look at what happened with Onision. I don't know if you ever seen that. Okay, so Onision was like kind of like the first YouTuber with the weirdest content on YouTube. And he basically got canceled because he was like this big vegan guy and posted these weird music videos and content of him in his house and all kinds of weird interviews. He got canceled because he got involved with like minors and shit like that. So and got charged with something. I forgot what. So he got big. He had like several million followers, made a whole bunch of income online, and then it's just that one thing, and everything just went away in an instance. even some of these, big time bloggers like Keemstar. I don't know if you know him.
Mm-mm.
Keemstar, he has like a drama channel, talks about YouTube beefers, also like big time YouTube beefers. He's pretty much called it quits once already, and now he's trying to get back into the game. But there's so many other people competing for it. And I mean, covering this saga with these different people fighting online, it's kind of funny, kind of interesting every now and then. But don't you guys just get tired? Like, don't you just get tired after a while? Like, okay, you could only talk about somebody's like eyebrows so many fucking times. You could only talk about how much somebody's little rolls on the side of their body is sticking out, or your mom is so fat and shit like that. It just gets fucking tiresome after a while.
I agree. I absolutely agree. It just, yeah, I absolutely agree. It's not necessarily great to roll around in the gutter all the time.
And commentating and I mean, talking about, all right, so you're disputing what somebody said about your fat ass basically for 3 hours long. No, I don't have a fat ass. I have a flat ass. Let's get it right, okay? And my eyebrows are this way, not that way. And so what if I use a filter? And I mean, it'd be more interesting if you kind of brought people on. And I'm not talking about you specifically. I'm just talking about other people and things like that. I mean, there's a time when you dispute certain facts, but it doesn't have to be like 3 or 4 hours long. I think if you brought on and covered different subjects, maybe that would be more interesting, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to branch out to doing that.
I know Brooke has tried to do that, but then
It just takes a minute.
all of a sudden, Siwa says that she's getting ready to do something else, or she's talking about tents, and then Brooke's attention gets fixated back on Siwa, and she does like 3 more streams on her. You see what I mean? So it's like never ending cycle of hate streams, drama streams, and shit talking.
That's very true. Well, thank you for coming up, and thank you for letting me play your interview. It's been really interesting. I might play some more of it later this week because this story is crazy to me.
Yeah, there's a lot more than that. I mean,
I saw somebody send me like 5 links of it.
Okay, so during that time for about 2 months, John went on every single night, trashing all of us, threatening to do this, threatening to do that, put out information about my family, put out information about Jen's family, directed people to call the police on us, directed people to call the board on me, directed to call people or directed people to call my wife's job. This is going on for 2 months, so there's a lot of shit that's been deleted. If you want any of that stuff, I could probably give it to you, and you could go over it.
Yeah,
but all that stuff is already deleted because he doesn't want to muddy up his his channel with all this past nonsense.
Well, I'm not trying to go to war with John or anything like that.
I know, I understand.
This story just, and somebody was like, Yahoo Boy did interviews with her, if you want to listen to it. And it was just, because when I was listening to Anna Marie, I'm like, what do you mean she held him hostage and wouldn't give him socks? Like, what are you talking about? Like, It's insane. Yeah. But
no, that sock thing is just stupid. What was I gonna say about that whole thing? And I think I heard somebody say earlier on that Jen's in jail or something. She's not in jail. I actually texted with her like a couple weeks ago. She's fine. She's out of all this stuff. She doesn't want anything to do with anybody. So that's good on her. And she's just moving on with her life. Better for her. I mean, I know that she had a lot of conspiracy theories and a lot of different allegations that were just wild in herself. and you'll see that in some of their interviews. You could see my face kind of like I just don't want, like, what the fuck. But I don't think she meant any harm. I think she really wanted to help the guy, and he screwed her over, and kept going at her for a while.
Well, I'm going to listen to the rest of them at some point. Not all of them tonight, but
Yeah.
Please come back again. I might be listening to
Sure.
some of them tomorrow night. Oh my gosh, Ellie, I'm not going to war with John. Ellie, stop. If you want,
People did not call and get him fired from his job.
Lily, really, Maria's a mod. She hates John. I don't hate John.
Nobody called and got John fired from anything. That's a lie.
Okay, well, I'm going to wrap this up. Thank you so much for coming up, and I hope I talk to you again.
Yeah, no problem.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Okay. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up with our Reddit recaps real quick, and then I'm going to get ready for bed. So, the first one, this is on bottom feeders. It says, "Oh, Genevieve Bailey," and has a face. I don't know. I guess. Oh, this is, I think, from Jen commenting on unloading the clip with D and Sly. "I'm only saying this to both of you. I have screenshots of all the threats and doxing, and tonight's thumbnail is the worst I have seen. You will not get Sasha back, young lady. You said she needed a home, and we provided her with not only that. I could have spoken on this October 15th, but you and Sly continued to terrorize me and others on YouTube. Your channel is not taking accountability. The hate in both of grown women's mouths is not only frightening, but you are your own worst enemy. And for someone who had a dictionary of charges, ma'am, even if not felonies, doesn't warrant the physical threats that come out of your mouth. You need help, D. There is a deep-seated anger in you that you need to get help for. Don't you ever threaten me or JM or Mike or Clint. Sasha is a part of our family, and that won't change. Oops. You should have had the decency to be grateful that Mike has provided her with a good home. And to be honest, my dear, with your open threats, a pet store wouldn't even sell you a dog bone. Ooh. You truly sound not right. To everyone, please have a good night. Oh, and to Slithers, aka Sylvia, if you want your loved ones not mentioned, then shut up and you don't do it. You dox someone and they don't even know who it is. If you dox someone, how do they not know who it is? You are so transparent. You and Sewer's recollection is noted. See would say, what? You want respect, blabbering mouth, then shut up about others and stop with your magic threats. You sound crazy as well. Okay. The next one. Teresa says she's not afraid of anyone on stupid ass internet, but deletes her live. She really is the dumb hyena from The Lion King. Someone else says, separate post. Come on, Queen Bee, woman up and go ahead and go crazy on Amber for crying over Jay White. We didn't even get to that. I don't know what happened there. Oh no, you won't, because then you will lose TL, Mims, HB, etc. Love when the bees hide when shit gets real. Another one says Amber's YouTube growth strategy, and it has a picture of someone putting on clown makeup. Team up with JY. Hashtag cancel JY. John Yates. Crawl back to JY. Delete YouTube channel. Oh, and then there's a picture of me and Zeus paneling that says this dude will be single for all of his life. I disagree. I think that I actually know that Zeus has gotten some nudes from some people in this community. So I don't agree with that. Hi, Days. I hope your daughter's thing went wonderful and you're so proud of her. You've missed a lot, my girl. This says Amber's anonymous call to the police. John Yates is drunk. Go check on him. What is this?
Previously, he has told people he wishes that people speak to 203 DuPont Avenue. Hey, what's going on? I really want to remain anonymous because I am in a class action lawsuit.
Was this
against
recent?
guy. He is on YouTube. He is drinking profusely. He has told people he wishes that people would be shot in the head and buried in a grave on top of each other.
Yay, guys, I'm so happy for you and for her.
He's going after
You should be so proud.
everybody.
She's a great young lady.
People named numerous times tonight.
This has to be old. Is this old?
I live in Texas, but there's a class action.
It
lawsuit
is. So
against them, and
this
there's
is
a
old
murder
if she lived in
lawsuit
Texas
against
at the
Pecans.
time. I don't know what this is being tested now.
And
So Amber has now gone to the Yates train after all she went through. What the fuck, someone says. Where is the bison on Hope's campus show? I thought they were a team now. Somebody said scumbag chip, slimming and rice, scumbag dance, scumbag in it. When your vocabulary is limited, Johnny will scam along for the ride. Somebody said, Jules, are you going to go after Amber now? She is supporting JY. I bet the B will back down. Watch, where will TL, Mims, Heidi, or HB, etc. fall? I know, and you've had some shit going on, so we forgive you. The B will be a PAB and not say shit. What happened to what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong? Someone said scamsy. Who are you even talking to? You pop up and call someone's child a B for attention, then whine. You don't want attention. Somebody says Amber. It's Amber. It says cancel John Yates for racism / help Yates scam a few dollars so he can top 100K. This one says trigger warning. Amber showing this. She's using the situation of someone she doesn't like and knows this is fake to make people go to bed. To make people feel bad. Go to bed, Amber, you're drunk.
Something anyone wants to like wake up to?
I guess this is last night.
Huh? Tell me, bombshell.
It's a picture of trigger warning, a bloody hand. What's she saying?
And this woman is playing it off like I was trying to like guilt her. But my chat, when I woke up to this shit,
She sounds a little
this freak the fuck out.
Who did this? No. And now she's showing in.
Hope you understand
Trigger
what
warning.
the fuck you did to me, bitch. Luckily, my friend survived.
Okay. Somebody says,
I thought we did.
someone says, I don't know. It could be a toss-up where Sasha got fleas. Could have been being with Dee or Jen, honestly. I mean, Jen is even taking care of her children, but don't worry, everyone Sasha is taken care of. Somebody says, we get it, Missy, you know everything and wonder why nobody likes you. The live's going on right now, or cray. Okay. Then we will wrap this up so I can go with the cray stuff. Who is Sasha? It's a dog Jen adopted from Dee, and she read, well, actually, she couldn't really articulate it that well, and Johnny Mac read the vet records meticulously to us the other night. It's on Johnny Mac's channel. It's riveting. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap this up. Please, again, there's a link if you want to donate directly to the Linus Project. If you would like to donate through me and have half of it support the channel and my content through Super Chats or Cash Apps, I really appreciate it. It makes me feel really good. So you can do that either way. thank you. So Sasha is not a person. Sasha is a dog. So thank you guys so much for watching and for your support and everything. And I will see you probably tomorrow night. You guys have a good night. Let's check out the craziness going on elsewhere. Bye, guys.